We begin with the court case that's rocked the nation for some time now, and it's the second witness that'll continue testifying in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. The former Bafana and Orlando Pirates captain was killed in 2014. eNCA Silindelo Masikane is covering the story for us and joins us this morning for an update. Now, Sergeant Mtetwa back on the stand today. Where did proceedings end off yesterday?
We ended off in the midst of cross-examination of Sergeant Patrick Mtetwa, who we know, of course, is one of two police officers who was the first on the scene back in 2014. He was on duty that evening at the Forceless Police Station with his colleague, Sergeant Matebula, and so far, in terms of his evidence in chief, he told the court about exactly what time they got the call to go to the scene, which is just before 9 p.m. On the 26th of October, also describing what they found when they got to the house on Nomzamo Street, saying that it really didn't look like anything had happened. He said that they perused the area outside as well as inside, but had to actually go to the hospital to try and get a hold of those who were in the house to get a sense as to where that shooting in progress had occurred. And when we ended off, we had the defense scrutinizing his testimony, saying that he did not follow procedure. He and his colleague did not follow procedure by immediately securing the crime scene when they arrived and instead leaving it and open to potential contamination. Let's take a listen.
How were you clad? Were you clad in civilian clothes or were you clad in uniform?
Ingabe ke nanigqokele impahla nje zenu noma nanigqoke impahla lasemsebenzini?
Sasifaka impahla lasemsebenzini.
Uniform.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Yebo sasimtshela dayisize khona siqale kodwa emzamo sasesiza la ngoba asitholi wathi hayi uSenzo Meyiwa bamdubulile ulanga phakathi useshonile.
We then indeed confirmed that we were coming to hospital, but we had first gone to Mzamo, but then we couldn't find. Then we came now to hospital. The lady then said to us, yes, Senzo Meyiwa has been shot and is inside the hospital.
Slee, what are experts saying about the crime scene not being secured immediately at the time of that particular incident?
Well, we know that the defense, of course, finds this quite problematic in terms of the fact that the crime scene was open to potential contamination and that the police officers, in terms of Sergeant Mtetwa and Matebula, did not perhaps immediately call backup instead of leaving the crime scene to proceed to the hospital. But experts are saying that, in such an incident, there's a lot happening and we can't really find fault with those initial police officers that get onto the scene. Let's take a listen.
I guess when they arrived on the crime scene, they probably didn't really know what had gone on. The rules are quite clear. If there's a serious crime has taken place, such as a robbery or a murder, the crime scene is supposed to be secured. And that would include using the yellow tape that you see put around crime scenes. And then you would have normally a uniformed person would be placed there. And that person would have a clipboard or something of that nature, or his pocketbook, and he would disallow entry into the crime scene except for authorized persons, and then he would keep a note of who came in and who left. So that apparently didn't happen. I have no doubt that with hindsight it could have happened, but unfortunately, there's so much crime going on at the moment because of the evisceration of the South African police services by the government previously. We have a situation where literally on a busy night, you're running from one crime scene to another. And I think that was the case here.
So we do know that he continues on the stand today, Slee, but do you think we can expect any more witnesses to share their account of what transpired after Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed that day?
Well, at this point, it's still unclear, but we know that we're expecting that the cross-examination will continue. We had adjourned a bit early because Sergeant Mthethwa was told to bring his pocketbook that he had or utilized that evening. That's the pocketbook that police officers usually will carry with them to record everything that they note, that they see in terms of when they arrived, etc. So we're expecting, of course, that there is a potential to have maybe his colleague, Sergeant Matebula, take to the witness stand, but of course that depends on the questions that are posed, his answers, and whether the defense will be satisfied in terms of the questions that they pose to him. So at this point it's unclear, but there's definitely a possibility.
Thank you, Silindelo Masikane, joining us there to give us an update on the proceedings happening in court regarding the murder of Senzo Meyiwa all those years ago, almost a decade, and the court case is currently underway.